On April 24th, 2020, at exactly 5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Osu account by the name Shikyo was born. I wasn't able to collect much footage of my earlier days of playing, but I made sure to keep track of all my important milestones. A month after I started, I got my first ever 3-star pass on the intermediate diff of Hyadian's JoJo Yujo. At this time, I was using a mouse and keyboard, and had a really scuffed skin that my friend recommended to me. About a month later, I passed my first 4-star on the hard diff of Tome Elegy, which is now under 4 stars, but at the time it was almost exactly 4 stars. Now I had a tablet, the Vake S640 as my tablet, as well as changing my office keyboard for a membrane keyboard. I did not set any more significant scores after this, and I went on a 2-year hiatus from the game. Near the beginning of 2022, I came back to the game better than ever, and set my first 4-star FC on the expert diff of Haramachi Clover. While it was a B rank FC, it was a FC nonetheless. After this play, I went to check my play on the website, and I noticed that the number under your profile is your global rank. This is when I got my goal to become 5-digit. As you can see, I found out how to turn off the hit lighting, and I switched my skin to the more readable White Cat skin. A month after my 4th FC, I achieved my first major PP milestone, 100 PP, on Seth Everman's Blinding Lights, and funny enough, I got it with the nearly unreadable CSGO skin. In the same week, I passed my first 5-star on Dynamo's set of Ascension to Heaven. This was one of my first scores that involved alternating my fingers. This was only possible due to my brand new keyboard, which was mechanical instead of my old membrane. 4 months later, after stagnating at a 110 PP top play, I set my most monumental score of my Osu career. A 161 PP FC on Can You Understand Me, skipping from 110 all the way to 160 PP, and it doubled as my first 5-star FC. Around this time, I was experimenting with different skins and stuck with the BTMC skin, a choice that would stick with me for quite a while. After this play, I would not gain ranks for the rest of the year despite my efforts, and Deep Woken Verse 2 released, so I decided to quit for the time being. October 2024, I decided to hop back on the game as the new CSR PP rework bumped me from 300k all the way to 210k. This reignited my interest in the game, and I decided to get back to farming. This time, I was on laser, and I had a MacBook now, so I ditched the mechanical keyboard and opted for the more modest built-in laptop keyboard. Not soon after I started, I set a new top play on Brawley's Dear Brave, which I did not expect because I was still really rusty. After this play, I decided that a new name, Soup, would be born. 2 days later, I set another top play on Sotark's Colors Power, a completely unexpected top play that had me speechless afterwards. But using this wave of confidence, I went to play more farm maps and ended up with another top play on Reform's diff of Basela at 186 PP. In between my 186 and 200 PP play, I was able to get 2 milestones down with my first 1k combo FC on Log Off Now's Colors Power. This was my first score that I was genuinely proud of, as I put hundreds of attempts into it. My second milestone was my first 6-star pass on Drummer Save Me, introduced to me by Emmerich's 1700 PP record. Laser made it relatively easy for me to just mash through the streams, which would be a reoccurring pattern in all my future past milestones. I'll just be saying I gratefully used the game's given pause feature to set this score. At the end of 2022, I set my long overdue first 200 pp play on Reform's diff of save. And while it was technically not 200, it was 199.7, which rounded up is 200, so I still count it as my first 200. On the same week, I would set another top play on Kimetto Yo Hand in Hand, being my first true 200 pp play. I do vaguely remember it being around 12 AM and I was just zoned out because I've been retry spanning this map for the past hour, 2 hours, and then all of a sudden I had this realization that I had to lock in because I was FCing the map with 20 seconds left. With 2025 starting, I decided to set my resolution to getting 5-digit by the end of the year, getting a 7 and 8-star pass, and getting a 300 pp play. I would soon fulfill the 2 pass milestones, setting my first 7 and 8-star passes back to back, with my 7-star pass being on Oral Cigarette's songs compilation, and Hidamari no Uta with DT for my 8-star pass. It's just so funny to me how much I was struggling to read AR10 on Hidamari no Uta. I also changed my name to my current username, spinneracc, and decided to start a gimmick where I put spun out on every map I play. During a power outage, I'll be playing Osu offline when I decided to come back to a map that was just way too hard for me back in 2022, Make a Move. During this short offline grind, I managed to set a 1 miss on Armin's diff, so I decided that after the power came back, I would FC it. And FC it I did, jumping from my old top play of 200 pp to 254 pp. And finally, the play to seal the deal, and by far one of my most craziest plays of all time, a 270 pp 1 miss choke on Reform's diff on Song That Might Play. It was worth 270 pp, and it would be worth 300 if I didn't miss on absolutely nothing. The score itself was crazy, as my BPM cap at the time would be 210 BPM, and this map, it was 240 BPM, which is a whole 30 BPM higher. But that day, my aim felt so fast, and I was able to set this score. And as I watched the results screen, I would see all of the years that I put into playing this game pay out. And I saw that 6-digit under my profile fall to 5 digits. I had done it. My Osu journey has not ended. In fact, this would only be the beginning. And this was my journey to 5-digit. Thanks for watching.